Namaste, Jagdish here. As part of our conversations on learning for transformation, we are entering episode 6 today. In the episode 6, we are going to look at making sense of the world. When we are dealing with something, we need to make sense of it. Suppose I am operating on the human body, on a particular organ, say kidney, a heart. I should have an absolute sense of what I am operating on. Making sense of the world is the best way to deal with the world. The world has its own structure, and my understanding of the world within my own cognitive structure matters a lot in the way I deal with the world. It's like me going on a vacation to Kashmir. Even if the budget says that I need to take approximately 100,000 rupees to Kashmir, I will not go just with that. I'll take a little bit more as a preparation to be able to enjoy my trip to Kashmir. Means when we enter life, when we enter a vacation or go for a holiday, our preparation is slightly better than what is required. If I have to teach a grade 3 child, I cannot go only with the textbook. Just as if the budget for a Kashmir trip is 100,000 rupees, very sure I will not go just with 100,000 rupees. Similarly, if I am entering a classroom of grade 3, I will not just go, just prepared with as much knowledge as is required for the classroom. That is what is about understanding about making sense of the world. When I say making sense of the world, probably we need to look at two things here. The two things are, the world is composed of two things, that is you and the world. When I say you and the world, it almost appears the same. If you look, so I'm not getting into the esoteric or philosophical underpinnings of the terms you and the world. Probably it's one and the same. But I'm going to look at it more pedagogically. You and the world. When I say you, let's look at the you. Who is you? Who is me? Who is the individual? Individual is a set of conditions that we live in, set of beliefs, my wants, my desires, my sense of guilt, my sense of fear, things like that. Can we really make sense of that? Why am I feeling the way I feel? Why do I act the way I act? Now, this is a very critical question, and this critical question cannot be dealt with in moralistic sense. As children, we were always taught moral science classes. Probably we had lessons about the hare and the tortoise, which tortoise slow and steady wins the race. And we had a story about the thirsty crow, which taught us, you need to be thinking out of the box in order to come out of solution, etc. Each of this story had a moral outcome. Now, in those moral outcomes, we constantly examine that greed is bad. But how do we really differentiate between want, greed, and need? These are all terms which cannot be examined at all because these are pre-critical terms. You can understand it only by an exposure to extraordinary reading, critical reading. What is called as greed? What is guilt? What is sin? These are all very, what you can call as unstructured data, and you have to make sense of it. And how do you really make sense of it? When you start looking at life as a package. And what actually gives life as a package? The extraordinary ability to read. When you read Dostoevsky, probably you understand, is the sin same as guilt, or is guilt that generates sin? Without guilt, can sin exist? This complex understanding of human life that one can see in Dickens' Hard Times, of society portrayal, or the sensitive emotions of Emma, or in the greatest poetry of, say, John Donne or Hopkins or T.S. Eliot's intellectual poetry, all these things are in a way a portrayal of life in a package. So reading gives you an understanding, a critical reading gives you an understanding of who I am. Not an understanding, but I have a chance to explore this. I have tools to explore this through reading. So reading is a way of developing a child's ability to make sense of who the child is, being at ease. Second is making sense of the world. How do we make sense of the world is something that we are going to look into in the next episode. Thank you so much. Namaste.